Welcome to Pick Central. Today, myself, Clemmer. I believe Ev will be in a second. We have Dukes in the back, the fellas. Today, we are brought to you by DraftKings. Pick 6 is back. Pick 6 is available in most states, including Missouri, California, Texas, Georgia, and more. Track your picks for a shot to win huge cash prize. It's simple as that. Me and Clemmer have done it. I went to Alaska for it. It's simple.
It's fun.
Baseball, it's like over, under, outs, like more or less.
Strikeouts or pitchers.
Yes, it's a lot. It's simple.
Hits for, like how many singles, stuff like that. It's fun. It just gives you an extra layer to watching the game. I love it.
DraftKings Pick 6, it's that simple. And when it comes to massive payouts, DraftKings dunks all over the competition. Don't settle for smaller payouts. Switch to Pick 6 and turn your knowledge into cash today. New players get $50 in Pick 6 credits instantly with just a $5 entry. The simplest way to play for cash, Pick 6 from DraftKings. Download DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code PickCentral. That's code PickCentral for new customers. Play $5, get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Better payouts, bigger wins. Only with Pick 6 from DraftKings. The crown is yours. Sorry, Dukes.
Tough. Yeah. That sucked.
Yeah. Listen.
Tough way to lose it.
The last possession was.
You were all class to me, so I'm going to be class to you. But I do feel bad you lost your bet because that's a big bet. Mm-hmm. It is.
Yeah, I lost a lot of money.
Yeah, like it was right there.
Potential.
But yeah, you were there. You were winning the whole game. Up 12, 15.
For sure.
Been there before. It does suck a little bit that we talked about that Houston doesn't do what they just did.
It was crazy.
It's exactly what we all said that, like, Kelvin Sampson, they know how to win in close games. They didn't run a play the last play. They barely did.
No, that was like a total elevator set. I mean, they had the look. I mean, Sharp just didn't convert on it. He either has to let that go right away. I mean, they said the timing was off because Tugler went out of the game. I mean, my biggest thing with Kelvin Sampson last night was, one, I hate how he does when a guy's in foul trouble, he feels like he just can't play them. So Tugler and Francis were in foul trouble. He went to a small ball lineup, which I think fucked everything up. That's when Florida just started to eat up the interior, which Houston never really gets eaten up in the interior. They went to Terrence Arsenault, who's 6'6", playing the 4 with Juwan Roberts, who doesn't have the wingspan of Tugler. Then Tugler fouls out. Francis had 4. He had 4 the entire game. Then on that last possession, I think they actually got a good look. And I think that I would have went for 3. There was no way if that game went to overtime they were winning.
But
Tugler's out.
I get that.
Francis had 4.
But
then
I still
you have to go
think
to that
you
small
have
ball
to give
lineup.
yourself a better chance where, you have made it yourself. They are an unbelievable offensive rebounding team. They also went late in the shot. They had 19 seconds.
So if Tugler was in the game, I would have won for 2.
Yeah, I understand, but I still a higher percentage shot to tie the game. That was also – they also didn't have a good look. He should have shot faked maybe.
No,
I don't think he could have even shot that.
I think you either shoot that right away or you pump. We've seen Sharp. Sharp has been their most clutch player in those situations over the last couple of years.
It was either him or
I know people say Cryer, but Sharp really has nailed,
either one.
Sharp has really nailed those shots. It was honestly the most shocking thing that he was the player that fucked those last 2 possessions. Obviously, 4 turnovers in a minute 20. Did not expect that.
Their last 4 possessions, they just didn't get a shot up, which is unheard of for Houston.
And also, Francis was supposed to set a harder screen, and you could just see that the timing was all off because Tugler was supposed to be in that position, and he isn't usually in those positions. And him fouling out really, really fucked up everything. Just, I don't know. I play it back so much, and the more I watch it, the more I'm like, that was the right call, or that what I thought was the right call. Sharp just, I don't know how he didn't pump fake and just let that go. He would have had a wide open 3 for the win.
They did just seem like they they went a little too slow for my liking because at least they were down 2. But I get you still want the right set. Selfishly, I'm not even kidding. I was rooting for you. I really was because I knew you had a good amount of money on it. I was, but then now I got nothing to do with the game. Once the game's over, I didn't mind that they choked it because Duke they not many people remember the Duke choke now.
Well, you're an angry man.
Yeah,
I think people.
They will remember it, but it's
No.
less if Houston won. If Houston won, it's way more.
That's true.
I think that's very true. And now Florida.
People, honestly though, Marty, people will remember this Duke choke
No matter
forever.
what.
And the big reason why is because I believe, and I know you do too, Cooper Flag's going to have an amazing career in the NBA.
Yes.
And they'll always point back to that. Until he
also
wins a
think-
title in the NBA, people are going to point to
I
that.
also think they would have shit on Florida, but that's a different story. But Florida, you got to give them credit. Walter Clayton had no points, I think. 10 minutes left in the second?
I mean, yeah, and that's what I was saying. Yes, if you told me how to write up the game plan, I'd be like, oh yeah, they definitely won then.
And by 10.
Yeah,
And-
they really shot. Both games in the Final Four shot like fucking shit. I mean, they actually against Duke, they shot it from 3 pretty well, but yesterday was fucking awful.
Dude, that was one of the worst basketball games in the first 20 minutes. I was like, what is going on?
That's when I was nervous. Is when they were dominating the game and weren't running away with it.
Yes. I agree.
It was an exciting game, though.
Halftime.
Yeah.
No. It was
I
exciting.
gotta say,
it was bad.
as shitty as the tournament was up until San Antonio,
Yeah.
San Antonio delivered it, and then some.
And that's what we all expected too. That's what we all wanted was the ones to play each other because they were the 4 best teams, and
they're pretty evenly matched, obviously.
They showed that every game was really good.
Yes.
There was not one bad game. It was a blowout. If it was a blowout yesterday, it would have sucked. Everything was great. I just think that you got to give Florida was down. What was it? 12.
12.
They were down 12. They were down 8 to Auburn. They were down 7 with 40 seconds left to fucking Texas Tech. They were close with Maryland for a while. They had to work for this one. And Walter Clayton, when you're a star player like that and you have no points for 30 minutes of the game, and all of a sudden you still trust yourself, still go. He was getting N1s up the ass. His threes were insane. But yeah, and once I thought Houston was gonna win though, still, even when that guy missed the free throw at the end. The goaltending we didn't talk about yet. The goaltending was pretty bad.
Oh, that was awful. And they also got
bad.
fucked. They got that was twice this tournament.
Florida hit a 3 after that too. Yeah, that was
huge
tough.
5-point swing. And I hate to because then there was a technical. The first technical, you can make the argument was kind of bullshit against Florida. But anybody saying the second one, the ball went a mile high in the air.
Also, if you watch college basketball, it's a classic. If you slam the ball at all,
Yeah.
they call it technical.
If you slam it and it goes to your waist and you catch it, nothing.
Sometimes they do,
Yeah.
but you're right. That's
You won't call
even
it a national championship.
Not a national championship, but you almost have to if you it wouldn't count. That's what people do. You can't. You have to call it especially if it flies up. So stupid. But also as I saw people being oh, what a tech by Golden. And it was he didn't do anything.
Yeah, it was the bench.
It was the fucking bench.
It was weird too, in my opinion. In the first half, there was 4 fouls, and they were really letting them play, which I think went into Houston's favor. And then the refs started just doing these ticky-tacky fouls when Florida tried getting physical. And I was like, wow, this is kind of, again, some were definitely fouls. There was just I was like, why are you, it's not on the rebound. It's you're going across the floor on the baseline and you're throwing a shoulder. That's just dumb. It's not being physical, it's just being an idiot. But after the technical, it completely shifted. It went 11 fouls for Houston, 1 to Florida.
The fouls were
Great.
first half. There was none.
Right. It was why are you
was
letting them play
4, I
physical in the
think?
first half, and then why are you trying to make it about yourselves in the
In
second?
the second half, there was a lot. I actually thought there was a bullshit foul on Houston. They called on Houston from Cryer from the back, and he didn't call it till he lost the ball, and that would have been a turnover. Listen, I don't think Houston lost because of the refs, but it didn't help. There definitely was some. I think the goaltending's bad.
Well, this is where it comes in. Is you had the opportunity that they were they had 5 fouls in the first 5 minutes of the second half, and you're all right, now you could attack the rim, and then their big guys got into foul trouble almost instantaneously. They had three fouls in 9 seconds. That shifts everything that you want to do. And again, This goes back to Kelvin Sampson. I think getting out coached in the second half. He didn't attack the rim to try to get them to get them to the free throw line when he had nothing going. They weren't there. Everyone on the offense was playing hero ball. Uzan sucked last night.
Yeah, he did.
Dribbling around. I think they had 5 assists last night. Their least since 2020. So,
What's the Florida Condon?
Condon?
What Condon? I never always forget it was Condon and Condon.
sucked and then was the hero.
He sucked so bad. When you gave him space, he didn't know what to do. They would throw it into him and there would be no one like kind of near him, he traveled like 4 times and then like didn't know what to do. And then all of a sudden, at the end, he was started to be like actually take control. Overall, a great game. I mean, you what else can you want where there's 15 seconds left and they're down by 2 with the ball? And obviously, I wish I saw a shot go up, but like that's
Stuff for that kid.
way worse. Like if you got like Cooper Flagg, right? Like he got a shot. Like at least I actually liked the look. He got a shot up. He missed. Watching that ball just stand there and no one go after it because no one knows what to do.
And it was like an all-time great game.
Yeah.
And you were like, we might be able to get like an all-time great like
Overtime.
no moment.
Oh yeah.
Just in
yeah.
general, like
moment.
either like a make or a miss, and but it was just like kind of wait, that's how it ended.
Yeah, bad ending. But it was I thought great game.
It felt like a writer's strike.
I saw a couple of your tweets. I do think this one's gonna sting for Calvin Sampson for quite some time. Listen, he's been good for like not good, but like the top for the past 4 years, 3 years.
So he made a Final Four at Oklahoma. He was one of the best coaches in the country in the early 2000s. Then he went to Indiana. At Indiana, he got hit with sanctions, which sanctions back then was he was texting recruits. And, it was something with the Eric Gordon recruitment.
Yeah, something stupid.
So then he got, like, banished a little bit, went to the NBA. Then he went to Houston in 2014 with his son. Now, what he's done at Houston, I saw someone compare it to this, and it's right on. Houston was good in the 80s, but they were never good, like historically.
Yeah.
It wasn't like this would be like if DePaul made like 2 championships in the 80s or 70s, and then all of a sudden just decided to be like a national powerhouse for the last like decade. It makes no sense.
He's a good recruiter. I think he's a great coach. I do think this was his best chance to win. I think this was a team.
Oh yeah, I mean it's not a reach.
No, not like with like just obvious because he was in a championship. Like this team's been together for quite some time. Like they were old. They had the right group. Obviously, they were winning that game. I know that they're gonna reload and but I don't know. I just think this was their best time.
I mean, I said it. I already bet them to win the championship next year.
Wow. All right.
Already?
Already, because
so you're a year-long bet.
Yeah, and I'll probably double down when the odds like change after the transfer portal and everything. But with Houston, they lose Roberts and Cryer, which is huge. They lose like Malik Wilson, but they come back with Tugler, Uzon, Sharp, their Arsenault. Then they have 3 top 20 freshmen coming in. So if you want to, they could be like potentially like Duke last year, and then they could reload in the portal.
No, 100%.
And they have so much money.
This isn't like where I'm like, it's not like San Diego State where they're never going to get back. Like this is like
they're the second best odds to win it next year.
Houston's like going to be really good. I'm just saying like when Gonzaga was in it, like that was his best chance to win. Like that was his best team is what I'm saying. Obviously, he can reload in 2 seconds. Like this only helps him. But I just think that like they had this one so in their own hands.
Yeah, I mean, when you're up 12 in a national championship game and it's going to be your first one, you obviously that's your best chance. But I firmly think that next year they'll at least be in the Final Four.
Yeah, I can't speak to that yet because there's so many fucking teams that haven't done anything.
But who they are supposed to return next year, it's still a very big nucleus. You're going to return it again 70% of your scoring.
Hopefully, maybe.
I mean, I'd be shocked if any of those players go to the NBA.
Or transfer.
I'd be shocked if any of the players transfer. They don't really have people transfer out.
Ev?
Tough. It's tough.
That's tough.
Tough to double down.
You double down too?
Yeah, I bet I'm huge. Yeah.
Oh no.
How many, do you feel comfortable how much you left on the table, Dukes? You don't have to say it.
I mean, I didn't go to bed till 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh no.
So it was a lot.
My only
Life changing.
No.
No, like in the moment when you're 26.
In your situation right now, it's like
it would have been.
What?
Yeah, I mean,
I had you said yesterday it was like 15. Oh no, that was
it was
Florida
15,000,
one.
but this still would have been like a little less than half of that.
Oh, that's a lot of money.
nice chunk of change.
I love that you just did the exact number without saying the number.
Same thing.
I appreciate it. That sucks though. It really does.
That's a lot
suck.
of money.
That's a lot of money. It
I
is,
mean-
especially on like a future was that just straight up future for them?
And pool. like just like a couple pools.
That's what Epps was too.
Pool, and then I bet them big as well.
Yeah, I took the alt line. I thought that was like a nice.
They only because I had the pool. The only thing that I bet enough on it that I still took a little bit of an L. But I did bet them. I did I did a hedge on Florida when they were down like 10, plus like 4 or something. So that like softened the blow. Like
You took Florida when they were down 10.
just so yeah, because they were they were plus like 4. And I was like I made such a big bet on them last night and had like decent amount of money on them like for the pool that I would have won. So I was like, if I don't do this now, I'd be stupid.
Can't leave this with $0.
I left it negative because I doubled down so heavily, but it would have been like an enormous loss if I hadn't done that.
What's your thoughts on it? We went through it, but
I mean, I'm sure everything everyone said already. I mean, just to end the game with 4 straight turnovers like that, the last 2 especially they didn't get a shot at the last minute and a half almost. I mean, that's. To lose like that, I don't know. The thing that I don't know how long you guys tuned into the broadcast post like the end of the game, but Charles Barkley was making on this like weird rant, basically saying like they talked about like why they went so slow on the last possession, why like such a good rebounding team like when it like try to get a shot up, maybe get offensive rebound, you miss, kind of thing. Why they didn't have more urgency on that, and he went on this whole diatribe being like. Houston played as good as they could play, and they were still losing. So, like, Sampson knew he wanted no part of 5 minutes of overtime with Florida, and that we're just going to shoot this shot. We're going for the win right here. I was like, did he watch the game? I think it's very up for debate of who you think truly is, like, the better team. I really think they were that close.
I think it definitely is.
I think they both didn't play, like, great games. I think to say Houston.
Let's say for sure they did not play great.
You say that Houston played as good as they could play. I was like, did you watch the basketball game?
I've seen that.
I was like, they played
good. Houston played better against Duke than they played against.
I was like, they had stretches of this game
good against Duke.
They had stretches of this game where they were horrible.
They played definitely better than they played against. They played better against Duke, and I've seen them play way better than when they.
Just the way he was categorizing it is that was like an A+ game from Houston, and that was like a bad game from Florida, and they were still winning. I was like, what are you talking about?
The only A+ about their game was their defense.
Yeah,
their defensive game.
Defense played good for sure.
Florida, you got to give them credit for their defense.
Oh my God!
Absolutely.
In the second half, they gave him fits. Golden. That's why I didn't know. I knew Kelvin Sampson could adjust, and Golden had better adjustments than Sampson. And I know Sampson probably went out of his comfort zone with the foul calls. But I said this earlier. I want to know your thoughts. I don't agree with Barkley at all, actually, in the slightest. But I said I don't think that Houston did want to go to overtime because Tugler fouled out.
Yeah.
Francis had 4, so they're like, fuck, like if. We just got to get this, we just got to win this now. And I actually liked the look.
I mean, if he pump fakes, it's a clean
Even
look.
If you just let it go right away.
I don't know if he would have been able to get it off.
I don't think. I think Clayton might have got a piece of it if he got. He jumps out of the fucking gym. He was up there fast. But I mean, if he like sidesteps like wide open 3 like from Sharp for the national championship game, like I like my odds. I like my chances there. But yeah, no, I agree with the overtime thought just on the foul trouble thing, which.
Yeah, but you still take the chance if it's an easier, like obviously a high percentage shot for a 2 to tie.
100%.
I still think Houston is good enough to stay with them no matter what.
I think so too. But I would have not. I mean, if it went to overtime,
like you let that thing fly.
But Clayton
that's also he's not going up
the distance really fast. Yeah.
Hear me out though. He against Duke. Sharp.
I know.
Sharp
made the same move. He did,
and he does this every fucking game.
He's a pretty quick shot. Too.
He always pump fakes. Always nails a 3. I'm getting mad again.
That's what happens, though.
The moment I think just got to him in that. He just wanted to get it up, and
that's what sometimes Houston can't do in the moment.
That was the most shocking thing all year long. They were the closers. Same with Florida though. Sorry, I will have to say it was the battle of the closers.
That game was like a parody. If you listen to Pick Central, it was a parody game of like everything that we said that Houston wouldn't do. They did 10 times worse, and that was like. So bad, and like you're all right. Like Walter Clayton played horrible, and all of a sudden he was back to Walter Clayton, which was like I give him so much credit for that because he could have just. And what's his name? Who's the guy in the Richard?
Richard,
he was unreal in that first half, and he played a great game.
He kept him alive. He really
played a great game, like because Houston. If he didn't play like that in the first half, Houston wins that game easily.
100%.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, and I also do agree with you. I think that you can't. I don't think it's up for debate who's the better team.
Yeah, I think
No matter what Florida is right now, that's why
they won the game, obviously.
But I know, I
They're
understand
national
what you
champs.
mean.
But
I understand what you mean.
I think there's a real I think they played this game 10 times, like we talked about yesterday with Duke Houston. I think it's like 5-5. Like I really think they're both like very close.
I think the top four. I do think the top four is just so good. Auburn at this point, I think is 4.
I think I could comfortably say Auburn's 4.
Yeah.
But I do think that the top 3 would be wars. I mean, like if they were 7-game series, like I think it would probably favor Duke.
I think Duke was still the best, but still, listen, that's why you play the games. That's why March was awesome. That's why I'm glad.
Well, April was awesome.
I'm glad that March.
That was the best Final Four of all time.
I agree.
It was very good, but that was April though. It wasn't March. Just
some of it was March.
Well, I mean, no, the Final Four wasn't.
Hold your shit on it. See, that's kind of stuff now. Like, I'm just gonna shit on baseball.
It's not shitting. I'm not.
Shut up.
I'm being,
No.
I'm being,
That was a comment
before,
that needless to be said.
Yeah, you knew what I'm talking about.
Had to go. March sucked though. Throw your little elbow.
No,
that's
no.
fine.
I said before you got here, Ev. I said how everything up until San Antonio was lousy. But everything from San Antonio on was incredible.
I mean, every game Florida played pretty much in the tournament was like box office.
What would you rather than honestly? Like, what do you think fans would rather? Would you rather them have a good
know.
like first 2 rounds, or would you
almost
rather
think-
the best games possible?
I think I'd rather that.
So
I'd rather the best games possible because I wait all year for those teams to play at the biggest moments. Like,
No,
I
'cause
don't want
everyone
these shitty
says
teams
no. They
playing
want
big
the shitty teams to win until they have to play another
Correct.
fucking game.
Yes.
And they're down 30 in the second half, and you're like, what the fuck is the point of this?
Madness on day 1 is elite.
Yes, agreed.
It tickles
Day
your
one,
ball-
it's fun.
it tickles your
First
balls.
round, it's good.
I would even argue first day. That's
First
it.
day, not even the second day. That's the same round. Yeah, I agree.
I think the casual sports fan actually would much prefer that first weekend being here because that's when more people are invested in their brackets and stuff. Like the casual, not
Because
you.
it's the best
You
weekend
guys
of the year.
love college basketball. You guys have been wanting because no, it's not because the best day of the year.
I'm busting balls.
Don't get crazy now. Yeah, I know, we're not doing
I'm not going to be shitty. I'm not going to be shitty.
Don't be
The kid
shitty.
lost a lot of money. I'm not going to be shitty. Not going to be shitty. The fangs almost came out. I'm in a good mood today. They're not. I think the casual fan would I think cares more about that because they have some skin in the game. I think you guys and I think true college basketball fans care much more about what we saw in San Antonio.
I just rather see, like, I don't know. I like when the best teams play. That's why obviously some Cinderella teams are fun, but like again, I'll always bring up like San Diego State had no chance of winning. Like they had no chance in that. Like they were good too, and that's not even Cinderella.
I disagree.
I don't think they had any chance in
I mean, they just ran into a wagon, but like
I know,
they
but-
were they've been so deserving. They're just a good program.
Regardless,
they're not like
I don't mean to even like I don't even like fully mean just them. I'm saying like a St. Peter's is one I really mean. Like that shit sucked in my opinion.
They were nuts because they just kept winning.
Yeah,
And then finally, when they lost
it was bad, and like we could have had a good. But regardless, that's why this tournament I think is great. I think that we got what we wanted. I'm not mad that Florida Houston was the most bet. Wow.
Wow, I wonder if it helps. It was just so like the spread was so close.
Yeah,
and-
almost a pick 'em.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And it worked out too. Like it was that close. Up
Lead
until the
plus 1.5. They won by 2.
Yeah.
It's crazy that Florida never led by 2. Was the biggest lead they ever had.
That's crazy.
Led for less than a minute.
Wasn't Houston the same?
They led for I believe less than a minute and 10 seconds the entire game.
Houston, you mean versus Duke?
Against Duke.
Yeah, it was
like
similar to
Duke,
that.
I think they were up 6-5, and then
Yep.
yeah. Yeah, well, college basketball is over.
Congrats to that better, by the way, Ryan.
Yeah, he's coming in. We got a Florida.
Oh yeah, that's
Florida
right.
fan,
The Florida
won-
Oh my
guy.
God.
Oh, I forgot.
He because he tweeted,
What a day for him.
He tweeted at me yesterday. He said like still in. I was like absolutely like you won the natty. I
Oh.
said what's going on? Come in, come on for a second.
Does he live
tour
here?
the office. I have no idea.
I think he lives on Long Island.
So yeah,
Oh,
so
nice.
he's-
Oh great. No, that.
We
How
wouldn't
about
be
that
able to pay for
guy?
him. Good for him.
What's his name? Ryan? What's his name? We know his
Yeah,
name?
sure.
Actually,
We'll go with
first.
Ryan.
Okay, Ryan,
We'll call
sure.
him Ryan from now on.
Whatever he wants to be
man.
called. But Florida guy.
he tweeted at me.
Congratulations.
He doesn't go. I don't think he has his like actual name.
Okay. Yeah. Of course. Keep
If he
that.
wants to come on the show, he can come on
He
the
said
show.
he's in.
Yeah.
Get a tour.
Absolutely. What a pick by him.
I think he's a Florida fan.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
No,
but-
God bless him. I mean,
But still, I mean, you got to say, hey.
Yeah,
won.
so I never bought on Florida either. That was the one team I never bought on.
see, it pissed me because I bought in on them early. Like I was really high on
I
them.
always
early.
thought they were like their offense was really good, but I didn't think they. I think that, and also like we were take away the championship. We were really like Texas Tech had them. they were there. They had them.
I mean, that was the team I bought on. Texas Tech.
They were down 8. They were down 9 or more in the second half of the last 3 games.
Yeah, I know. Like they were them all. Like everything I thought about them, the first half was what I thought about.
I mean, Texas Tech. They were down 9 with 3 minutes left.
I know.
They looked like it was. They looked scared last night in the first half.
Dude,
they were legitimately in a blender.
I've never seen that many travels.
And honestly, there was a million they didn't call.
Did you see the when Walter Clayton almost threw it out of bounds when they were pressing at the end of the game?
Yes.
Did you see the potential travel?
Yes.
I thought there was a bunch early.
Did you see that?
Call.
Yes, I did.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure the goaltend. You guys mentioned the goaltend. I'm sure you did. No, that was insane. That was a 5-point swing that I was. Like,
I knew right away. I knew
me too.
Right
I was like,
away.
I was like, we're gonna lose by like 3, and that's gonna be the.
I knew
swing.
right fucking away.
Ugh, that was one that was so blatant. Like everyone in the world saw that immediately. Besides the refs, apparently.
How do you not just call it and then review it?
It wasn't even close. Like it was sitting on the rim.
You can't review it. You can't review it if you don't call it on the floor. So why don't you just play it safe, call it, and then review it? And then you can take away the 2 points. You can't add the 2 points.
Even in football, like just say it's a touchdown so you can look at it.
Right,
you know?
like
right into a transition 3. It just was just a dagger of a swing.
You just knew right away.
Like because that ball, the ball was rolling off, but it was still on the rim.
But it was like very
matter.
Much on it.
No, of course.
It was
like it's a
really
goaltend. I'm just saying, like I think those refs saw the ball rolling off, so that's maybe why. But like it was so on the rim, I don't understand how.
It wasn't even close to off the rim.
That's the difference between being up 8 and then up 3.
It was massive. That was a massive swing.
Yeah, it's a massive swing. It sucks, 100%. But doesn't also make them. They shit down their leg at the end of the game. They really did.
How much does it suck that you can't even be like you lost to the loser?
No,
I think that makes it even worse.
I think it makes it better.
I don't think it does.
I think that them shitting down their own leg now makes me feel a lot better.
Really?
I don't care because I actually don't care. Losing to the winner never makes me feel better because I still know we were better than them, and like I think them shitting down their leg, it helped me. I don't know if it's for everybody. For myself, when I only felt bad for you guys because I knew the money situation of like I knew what you were going. I also knew that Duke was really in on him. But for my own self in the moment, I was like, at least they did it too.
I just think that I guess for me, like when I think about situations like we've had, like Ohio State's had, I think there's a point of like we knew like the Georgia, for example, like lose a heartbreaker to Georgia, they win by 1,000. You're like, that was our national title. Like you're sitting there like you don't even have like you can't even like tell yourself like I guess you can, but
I told myself we would.
See, to me, like Florida. You can't, like you couldn't even beat the team that couldn't beat the team.
Yeah, but they both shit down their leg.
Like all that, like the all time and all that. Like I think it was already thrown out the window with the loss. Now it's really like no one's even like entertaining the discussion.
Is Florida all time good?
No.
I think they are.
Well, what's like when you say like all time good?
Like, you kind of like the Bill Walton like UCLA
I don't think we're gonna
teams,
remember.
like Kareem
I don't think we're gonna remember
like
Florida as
back
much
in the day,
as like an all. Like UConn, I think will always be known as like an all-time team, right?
So I probably agree with you. I think they should be. When you look at what UConn did, they kicked the shit out of teams. I don't think that I think that this road to the championship was about as tough as you could get.
No, I agree with you.
I don't think you should be rewarded for like when you look at also this Final Four. We've been talking about going to this Final Four. This is 4 of the top 10 teams in the Ken Palm era. This has never happened before. These are some of the best teams that the predictive metrics like love. And now we're not going to reward the team that won it all.
The funny thing is, I think Dukes is right though because when UConn won, right? This is not slighting UConn at all.
Right.
They were unbelievable. I think they would have been playing right up with these teams.
100%.
So I want that to preface it. But when they played, the college basketball was kind of down on, like it was very top heavy. It wasn't like these four teams that are like, holy shit, you know?
But I think it was top heavy because of how good they were. And I think too, I just think the all time thing, you're going to have a tough sell on the all time thing with Florida that they were losing all these games. Like I think when you think all time teams, you think dominance. You don't think like getting by by the hair in your ass over and over again.
That's exactly my point though. Like, are we going to reward teams for playing lesser competition and kicking the shit out of them? Which, you know, I'm not saying you're a lesser team for being in the Final Four or some shit, but like these were this is 4 of the best teams I've seen in a long, long time.
Me too.
Like I'll put it like this. Like last year, for example, like I think UConn was as good or if not better than these teams. But like if you stick like I think you stick any of the, I'll say the top three, the Houston, Florida, Duke, any of them, like if you take UConn out of it last year, I think they also smash.
Yeah.
Like the Bama, Purdue, I think actually maybe can give a run depending on matchup, but I think they beat up quite a few of those teams last
It
year.
helps to repeat too. Like it just sticks in the
For sure.
Like,
yeah, the repeating.
So, like,
And they were better.
And they
the
were
second
better.
year.
Yeah, they were much better.
like I think that like makes a big difference as far as like, making an all-time team. Maybe that's not fair because you're not rewarding a single season enough.
True.
But I think it's any sport, right? Like
I agree. If you get back there as well, like even if like Houston
Yeah.
got back there,
Right.
it'd be,
Because I think if you look at the last, let's just say like decade, like I think that UConn team last year is probably the team. No.
yeah.
The last like,
Yeah,
10
right?
years. I'm trying to think in my head of like, I think at least of recent memory, they would have to be like the most like they were the most. I mean, they literally won every tournament game by I think at least 13 or something like that.
Yeah.
Like that's a crazy dominant run.
Like-
and they did play like Bama. What was Bama 1 seed last year? They beat 2 1 seeds in the Final Four.
No, Bama wasn't a
Were they 2?
I actually don't know what they were.
Bama was.
Weren't they 1 last
4?
year? Were they that low?
Yeah. I could've
But who did they beat that like
one?
they
No, they were only
Yeah, they
one
were
with
4.
Brandon Miller.
Were they a 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess not then. I was thinking I guess the year before they were a high seed and they lost.
They
Like-
lost with Brandon Miller when they were one.
Purdue was a 1 seed, I guess, but
So now that I'm thinking, if you're doing since 2000, I think in my head, without a doubt, they're without going through it too much, like top 5 team,
Oh.
Florida.
since 2000. But I think you have an argument. The other Florida teams are better. Like I don't even think they're the best Florida team.
I think they might be.
I think you're.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think that's crazy.
There's always
bias.
I like the argument. Like
If you look at those Florida teams who also repeated with
it's
like the
also
same
hard.
core,
It is
and
hard.
I think the teams they beat, you could argue like that Ohio State team with Conley and Odin's like an insane team that they beat.
I think it's hard when you also do.
Didn't
like,
they beat the UCLA teams with, or is that before? Did they beat a Kevin Love Westbrook UCLA team as well?
I think all these teams were better though. Like I don't know. It's
I
hard
think-
for me.
I don't
It's
know.
hard for me to compare with like obviously modern ball and like the 3-point shot and like. I think that if you match them up, this Florida team would win. But like
I don't
again, when it comes
know.
down to like legends and everything and like the time that they played, I could see the argument for 06,
Like,
07.
Joakim Noah, Horford, Corey Brewer,
I think
like you think this
Condon,
team? You think
Walter
Con?
Clayton. I think Hoff. I think Hoff is.
it's
the-
hard to
He's a
say.
good player. Hoff's a good
No,
player, but
I was gonna. Besides Walter Clayton, I think he's the best player. I think he's the most underrated player in the country. I think he's
on Florida.
I think he's the most underrated player in the country, bar none. I think he's an NBA player. I think he'll leave for the draft this year.
He's good. I don't know. Those Florida teams, those 06, 07 Florida.
Yeah, listen,
Really
we'll
good.
never know, but it's a good argument. To wrap up college basketball, real fast, it was kind of shitty. I think what people were doing yesterday, saying I would say something that I wasn't even near anyone or whatever. Like Hunter went on a podcast. First of all, the biggest joke of that whole thing was Jeff Goodman.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we should be harping on. So them to blame me already, like without no one talking to me. Two, Hunter, like you can ask Dukes. Hunter texted in our group chat being like, "Mario, I didn't mean to get you involved in that. Like I know you didn't do it. Like that's just where I'm like, it was kind of bullshit. But people like it's easy to throw my name into things, so I understand that. And if you want to shit on me, go for it. I didn't say shit. I have nothing to say about anything. Why would I talk about that? I wouldn't ever say that to an outside person about someone in Barstool. But hey, you want to go with it, run with it.
Are you mad at Hunter at all?
No, I think also Titus did shit on a guy for 3 years. Like, I think it's fair for Hunter to not like Titus.
Sure.
I think that's okay.
Yeah, of course.
And I think it's also okay to, like, if you look at anything Titus said, he hates Hunter. And I think that, that's a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've kind of. I'm legitimately John Fanta, like. And I
Yeah,
don't
but
want to get.
you were on the show, like like that's between them two, like
Exactly.
him and Hunter. I think it's fair for Hunter to shit on Titus. I think it's fair for Titus to shit on Hunter. Like whatever.
Yeah,
Like, I think that's
100%.
what it goes. And I think Hunter's his first time he's allowed to say something without getting any.
Hunter
flack
couldn't
from
say
his
anything for
thing.
the last 2 years. Like I don't
I think it's
he's
okay to say something, and
I-
I don't know why everyone's like complaining about that. Like that's two guys. One guy talks shit. The other guy's gonna talk
Yeah.
shit. I don't know how that might not work there, but that's what happens in life. And like to bring me into it, Like Hunter was just saying I'm his friend, and then you guys think that I'm saying that, and like no one even asking me, I think was really fucked up. And like obviously Rico with the pictures, like that's just funny. I actually think Hunter might have just been like embellishing. I have no idea. I'm not even blaming Rico. Like
aesthetically, it's a tough clip to be like, oh yeah, like Marty and Rico, my guys.
Of course.
And then like someone told me everyone hates him.
course.
Like, that's a tough like.
Yeah, but like
in one sentence,
It's not a great look. Yeah.
Aesthetically, that's like a very easy.
But for people to tweet and shit like in our own company, like and like obviously blaming me is like a little much. Or I was like, bro, like what the fuck? Like you're doing it off knowing anything. You know, like I think that's fucked up too.
Yeah, I said it right after. I was like, yeah, it's just like the worst part of the clip is he was like, oh yeah, Rico and Marty are the only guys that have my back.
Of course, but I also do. I had his back. I never said Titus worked here. I'm not gonna like go against Titus when like for people that real, I do think it's a team here. I'm not gonna shit on people with some guy like my friend here. Like that's just not what I do. You guys all probably do think I do that, but it's not what happens. So I don't know what the fuck else I can say. I'm not worried about it because I know it's nice when you know you didn't do something and you get to sit back and not get mad about it. I just don't like the other nonsense that goes with it, but it's what happens.
I mean, the craziest part of it was Goodman saying he didn't know Titus, and
that's what we should be talking about.
He had tweeted at him. But he had tweeted at him like 1,000 times.
He called him on his show. There's a clip of Goodman on the show.
That's a wild.
That's what we should be talking about. That's what Barstool's fun. Like, what, two guys? Like, someone talks shit about someone, and then we're gonna like blame other people in the company. That's more bullshit. Like, one, grow up, and two, like the Titus and Goodman shit that's funny. Like that's crazy that Goodman, that lisp motherfucker. That's also an op on everyone. Everyone doesn't like Goodman, so fuck him. That's what we should be on. But that's what we took out of it. That of the other shit is bullshit.
I think the funniest thing, my favorite part about helping Mark with his social media, it's like me and White Boy Rick. When that clip came out, like I was like, all right, like Hunter and Titus clearly have beef of some sort.
Which I think, again, Hunter has not been able to say something that I was shitting on for 3 years.
But then when I was like, holy shit, like let me just like look into this Goodman stuff, and I just remember everything that happened, and I tweeted yesterday, if I can make money shitting on Jeff Goodman as a living, I'd be a millionaire.
You'd be really good at it. I have
It's also really easy. The easiest job.
I have no ill will towards Titus. We haven't done it. I think the last time we did someone, he like came after us, and then we just we all squashed it after that.
I'll a little inside there. Me and you went and talked to Titus after that. I think we were there for mini golf last year.
No one would like to talk about that.
And then we went in, and Titus was like, "Oh, like we were all like, oh, this isn't a big deal at all." And we all shook hands, and we were all joking around. So that was that was a year ago.
Yes.
And I don't think
you
guys have said a word.
No, because we don't work together. We don't like we're in different offices. Like I don't hate him. I don't care about like I don't like.
He's just not
good for him. It's not my like world. You know, it's not my world. Like I don't do college basketball anymore because Dave literally said stop, so I stopped. And then I don't know. I can't speak for Rico. I don't.
Last time I saw you and Titus in a room together, we were all laughing and shaking hands and watching it. Right.
Yeah. So I think it was just a shitty way. If Titus wanted to say something, he can say something. Other people chiming in. Let's slow that down.
I love how it just became a shit on Jeff Goodman thing. Nobody even like really talked about the Hunter thing.
Yeah, I know.
People that were talking about the Hunter thing just hated Hunter.
Yeah, 1,000%. To move on, Cody Bellinger's got bad chicken wing.
Yankees are not doing great right now.
We're fine.
Okay.
We are.
I mean, you got Carlos Carrasco pitching today against the Cy Young winner.
Won his last start.
Yeah, won his last
start. You got Scooble going, though. I mean, he didn't pitch well. You won because you guys kicked.
It's okay.
Okay. You think that's okay? Maybe
I think, what do you go, 5 1/3, 3 runs, I think what it was? Yeah. If that's my 5th starter, I'm taking that every time.
Are you really? You're taking a 5.5 ERA every time? Because you'll lose a lot of games.
In that sample size? No, but see, you're
right now we're 1-0.
No, don't do the 5 1/3, 3 runs from your 5th starter.
Right. I think it's a 5-year. It's a 5.06 ERA.
You're telling me you said that's not good enough for your 5th starter?
No.
Well, then you have like 3 guys that start for you that aren't good enough.
I know that's not. So, okay, Tyler McGill, for instance, last year did not have a 5.06 ERA. And he's the 5th starter. Having a 5.06 ERA means you're going to lose a lot of games.
Real quick, though, also, like, we're not talking
about
this,
it's not what you want.
Like, but you're not also giving us credit where it's like, he's not our 5th starter.
Correct.
He's
be like our
7th
8th,
starter.
like,
eighth.
right.
Like he's,
You guys, the second you guys get Clark Schmidt
coming
back,
he's gone.
Then you're still stuck with
Also,
Will Warren.
real fast. Well, we're not either if we don't want to. Which I don't mind him, but like Heel will come back and then
Hill's not coming back till July, man.
Yeah, what's that?
That's a long way away. That's half a season.
It's not that long.
Half the season. That's a problem. Clark Schmidt sounds like could come back in a couple weeks. That's different.
Yeah, Will Warren's not a bad 5 though.
Maybe I don't know. I will say
he's a bad
his
5.
career ERA hasn't.
He's been a career ERA. He's been in the league for how long?
He's got 7 starts, right?
Yeah.
So the 7 starts, he's got a 9 ERA.
Yeah, but you
I haven't
know
seen,
that's a small sample
it's
size.
a very small
like,
sample size, but that's all we have to go on. So far in the major leagues, he's been a disaster.
Yes,
now,
but
can he
all we
pitch
have to
better than
go
that?
on is
Probably.
like your lineup's the worst lineup in baseball right now. That's not, I don't believe that because it's been 9 games. Like you have the worst line. Your numbers is truly at the bottom 5 of the numbers of hitting right now. I looked it up. That's actually stats are right there, but I don't believe that because.
Well, I also have a whole career of a lot of those guys. You know, for instance, like a guy like Nimmo is going to play better than that. Will a guy like Hayden Senger play better than that? I have no idea. Probably not. Like he stinks. He's our 3rd string catcher for sure. But the rest of those guys, I have a career I can look back on. I can't look at Will Warren and be like, this guy is better than an IE. I don't know.
Yeah. No, listen. That's why we don't know. But regardless,
Do you like your chances today against Scooball with Carrasco on the hill?
I do.
You do. You think? Yeah.
I do.
All right.
Also,
Why?
it's tough conditions.
And now Bellinger's out.
Yeah, that I was more confident with that. But yeah, listen, Scooball's unbelievable. But like, I still think we're better than the Tigers. So, well, I don't know. I have no idea. It's fucking Tigers it's our 12th game.
I know. I'm just saying.
Obviously, our odds are not.
You
great.
lost the last
Cy
2.
Young.
You lost the last 2. You got Carrasco on the hill. It's early, but still, it's like not great.
And it's snowing and
Crazy.
It was just
Cold.
snowing yesterday during the game. They're wearing these fucking masks that they can't even see anything. That's why they're losing.
Oh, it could be the weather. Of course, then the weather gets cold in October.
More importantly, we need to talk about the Dodgers here because the boys.
It's disgusting.
So the Giants have 9 too.
I don't get
No, the
it.
Giants lost. Now the Giants
Padres.
lost yesterday.
What?
So
What's the bet?
It's the Padres.
Race to
First
10.
one get 10 wins.
Okay.
And now and we got fucked. 'cause
Dodgers
now
were 9-1.
Padres-
the
The problem.
Padres also have 9 wins, and they play the fucking A's today.
But we play the Nationals.
But the same thing yesterday. We
Oh,
lost.
I know.
The Dodgers just can't win this fucking 10th game.
And
so now,
what's their record now? They're
9-2.
9-1.
if they both win tonight, it's like a dead heat. So we wouldn't win it was plus 210. I think we win I'm guessing plus 100.
Did you guys see
Probably
starting for the Dodgers today?
Oh.
Justin Robleski.
Awesome.
Whoever the hell that
The
is.
thing is, though, that's the games they win. You know, like
The good news is the Nationals are pitching a bullpen game, so
we should win that one.
I would think.
So no, I wish it was truly first to 10 because the Dodgers game's first.
Correct.
But that's not how it works.
It should be.
It's
It
same
should be.
day. I looked it up. It's same day.
It should be.
So
Padres will have Dylan Cease in the hill. Now they're going up against Jeffrey Springs, who I like a lot on the A's, but
we have our own bet.
we do. I don't think it's posted yet.
It's coming out,
Yes.
but we do have our own bet. Ev was recording, so we couldn't confide in you.
Confide.
Yeah, that's not a word.
Well, it is a word. It means we're telling me a secret.
Yeah,
Well, no, I think build it.
you could not consult me.
That's right.
confide's pretty close.
Started
Actually,
with a C.
I kind of like that.
You're like that we're all like
Keep
it's some
with that,
secret.
actually, yeah, I like that. Our bet is Paul Skeens. First, all these are starting pitcher race to 3 strikeouts. Today we went with every home pitcher.
Right.
So we went with that. Paul Skeens, Chris Sale, and good old Kyle Freeland.
I will say Marty advocated strongly for Kyle Freeland.
Kyle Freeland has a 2.1 ERA in 2 games pitched this year.
He's going up against Freddie Peralta.
Isn't he career great on the road?
Unfortunately, this game's at home.
That was a thing. I remember at one point in time it was Freeland on the road plus 200 or better. It was an
yes.
auto play for me, a system
But
play.
this is gonna be plus 680.
Right. And you're getting Sale, and you're getting
Skeens.
Skeens. The Skeens what I really like.
Skeens is only minus 175 for race at 3.
Well, they're home, right? So that's why he's on the.
Reagan's is home, and he's minus 425.
Interesting.
It was very confusing.
Reagan's a big strikeout guy, though.
Yes, that's
Skeens is too, obviously.
that's what I'm saying. We have the best strikeout guy, but regardless, that's going to be our bet around plus 600.
He's going up against Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray's a very nice pitcher, but he's not
also going up against the
biggest
Cardinals.
strikeout guy in the
The
world.
Cardinals suck. So, and I also
Then again, the
told
Pirates
them-
lineup sucks though. Worse than the Cardinals
True.
lineup.
I told them the Angels are good.
The Angels are not good. Angels. By the way, did you see who started for the Angels today? Kyle Hendricks. But my favorite thing starting today, Patrick Corbin is back in the major leagues. He's pitching for the Cubs.
Kyle Hendricks didn't retire?
Well, no, he didn't retire. The Angels signed him to a 1-year, I think, $2 million contract.
Oh my god!
And he started. So
He's probably gonna retire. He's like, oh, they might as well get $2 million.
When I saw this slate today, and I saw we had Carlos Carrasco, Kyle Hendricks, and Patrick Corbin pitching today.
Patrick Corbin's on the Cubs?
Got a little bit of a chub. Yeah.
When did that happen?
It just happened today. He did not pitch in spring training. Sorry, not the Cubs. Sorry, the Rangers.
Oh, okay.
Going against the Cubs. Jack Leiter got hurt. He has a blister, and so now they replaced him with Patrick Corbin.
Poor Adam Ottavino, man.
Ottavino's been kicked around by the Yankees.
We
Very
signed
mean.
him, pitched him first game, designated him, and he refused minor league deal, so he went to free agency. We signed him again, pitched him yesterday, DFA'd him today.
That's right.
Using this
And you know what? We're probably going to sign him again soon. Like, that is fucked up, man.
And meanwhile, his ERA is 0. he hasn't allowed a run.
Really?
Yeah. He's only going to inning in 2/3.
He let up a run yesterday, but it wasn't his.
It wasn't his.
Yes.
Inning in 2/3, he is not allowed to run.
I was going to say, when I was watching him, like, he didn't look that bad. He's just sitting 93. His ball moves a ton, but tough for that bastard, man.
I got to think someone's going to give him a shot. Because
I think showing that you just did that at least is like someone could take him.
he's a middle reliever. His stats weren't. He's frustrating to watch as a Mets fan, but he wasn't like horrible last year.
He has good stuff, but he doesn't control it.
He's also 39.
He's
but
39.
He's something like that.
Yeah, go home, Adam. Just go.
I mean, although if he keeps getting work.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Well, he's not really getting work.
Well, he's kind of is. He's like a day worker. He's like back in the old days when you'd go up to the dock. You're like, do I go work today?
I was literally thinking of from like Cinderella Man. Yeah. Like he's like dying to get picked.
This guy's got.
He doesn't get picked every day, but he's gotten picked a few times and he's done well.
He's a substitute teacher. It's just like
Ottavino is 39 years old.
We need you today, and then
right.
Like, what? Class is watching a movie today. We need Adam.
You wheeling the TV.
Yeah.
That's Adam Ottavino.
Yeah.
To his new team. I really, Patrick Corbin, I can't say enough. Patrick Corbin is one of my favorite players to bet on the last 4 years of the Nationals. I mean, it is
got to be the best non-signing the Yankees ever did.
Oh,
because that was like the most, like we were going after that guy. It was no tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right, thank God we didn't go after him.
I got to read this down, Patrick Corbin. Patrick Corbin, the last 4 years, this is 679 innings since 2021, a 5.71 ERA. Because the Nats would just throw him out there. They didn't care.
Yeah, no, they left him in too.
5.71 ERA.
To earn his money regardless.
It's wild. And he pitched the entirety of the contract. He never really got hurt.
Yeah.
He just kept throwing him out there. He just sucked. And now the Rangers, for some reason, are starting him, which seems wild. Meanwhile, Lance Lynn, who isn't terrible, just retired. Maybe he didn't want to pitch in Texas. I don't know. They couldn't offer him a permanent. I don't know. But that to me is, Lance Lynn was a Ranger. I don't know. That to me is crazy.
Yeah.
Lance Lynn's on a couch and Patrick Corbin's pitching today. It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
What do I know?
No idea. What's your best pick? Your pick of the day?
Pick of the day is the Cubs over 2.5 runs the first 5 innings. And that is simply, I'm just shitting all over Patrick Corbin here.
Did you see Steele last night?
Yeah, he looked good.
Really good.
Yeah.
Good.
500 innings also. Good for him.
He had 500 innings. Good for him.
500 career?
Impressive, yeah. 500 is a
milestone.
Mine is just because Easton Lucas got scratched yesterday. He's pitching again today. Not again. He's pitching it today. I have over 2.5 runs earned for him, plus 120.
Are you worried about that at all? So,
of course, for the weather. I have no
weather
idea. The weather could be good or bad, though.
It's going to be a wind, like I guess a 20, 30 mile per hour wind gust at Fenway Park. I think maybe all over.
That could be good.
It could be good. And then on top of
the
it,
pitching too, part of field.
The weather's going to drop. The temperature's very low. In fact, they changed the Mets game today from 7 o'clock to 4 o'clock.
Nice. I love when they
avoid
do
the cold weather.
Anything else? Last thing I want to talk about NFL stuff is now they're saying Travis Hunter's going too.
Yeah. See, now this is for me. Like I'm such a draft nerd. Like now, like college basketball's over. Like we're locked in on draft for the next.
So
3
Hunter
weeks.
goes 2.
I want
Carter. I think Carter. We would pick Abdul Carter.
Then you guys get Abdul Carter,
which would be awesome.
So that means Sanders. Everything I'm seeing, he's dropping like a rock.
Here's the thing with the Giants. I just think the Giants, like everything they've done in the offseason, would point you to believe that they're not in love with Shedeur Sanders.
Yes.
Considering they had a contingent, this is like documented. They had a contingent at every single Colorado game last year. Every game on their schedule, they had someone from the Giants at the game, watched it. Think about every move they made this offseason. They tried to give up draft capital and pay Stafford $50+ million a year. They went after Rodgers. They said, we'll go after Wilson. We'll sign Wilson and Jameis. Have two guys. Like, I think everything they've done is pointed
I think it was the second guy.
I think they, it sounded like from things I've heard, like I've been like really in the weeds the last like couple weeks. I think if they had the number one pick, like they would take Cam Ward 100%.
Really?
But they don't. Obviously they don't. I think apparently they had a meeting with the Titans about, basically everyone thinks it was to trade up to 1. And literally that night, they signed Russell Wilson. So a lot of people are like, they said
once they realized that door was closed.
Once they realized that number to trade up was going to be way higher than they were willing to pay, it was, all right, Wilson, Jameis, I think they'd already signed Jameis.
They already signed Jameis.
Then they were like, all right, like we're signing Wilson.
Listen,
everything points to no quarterback. They're in a nice spot where there's 2 blue chip prospects at positions of, you could argue, need with DN because they have Thibodeau and Burns. I think Abdul Carter's good enough, and Thibodeau has not been good enough that it does not matter. He is the best football player. You take him, period. Don't even think twice about it.
I think signing Jameis was like, fine, whatever. I think we're still going quarterback. And then right when you get Russell Wilson, if you draft a quarterback third, you just wasted. I think it's a complete waste. And not waste, like he can learn from Russell Wilson. Like, no matter what you think of him, he has he's Super Bowl experience. He's got the most experience as a quarterback. You can still learn things from him. But I think it's a waste of a pick at 3 when you could add to some things we still really need, right? Like, you added Russell Wilson, and no matter what, that's an upgrade from what we've had.
Yes.
And upgrade the defense with a guy who can be a core person of that defense with Dexter Lawrence. Like, that would be insane.
And Burns and him off the edges would be
saying,
incredible.
just like those 2 together and those 3, and like if Thibodeau could even get back to himself, like that's a defense, man. And like we see how it goes this year, but like I think it's a waste of a guy that you're not in love with. You should be in love with the guy that you're drafting 3.
Yes, 100%.
I think everyone last year was in love with the quarterback they drafted at top 3. Even in the fucking Broncos at 10 or whatever they were.
Well, yeah.
Like that's you have to be in love at 3. You get a guy in the second round as a quarterback. Maybe you get lucky.
So it seems like a disaster with the Patriots then. So then
4.
Because they're 4, so they're not going to get Hunter or Carter.
And obviously, they don't need Shedeur, so
but
they
I
could
think
get a good wide receiver there.
I think they would. I mean, offensive line. I think it's like Campbell or
Well, they're still get a good
I think
player,
it's
but
going to be Will Campbell.
or Membu from Mizzou has gotten like a ton of love.
You don't think they go wide receiver? No.
Probably not.
Who's the wide receiver? Arizona guy?
I mean, yeah. If they did, it'd be McMillan probably.
Your guy is going in the second round.
Ooh,
I
Agbuka.
love him.
I could see late. I think second half of the first is on the table, but he could go second.
I love him.
Well, the thing is, Golden ran that like sub 4.340. Now everyone's in love with Golden, who I actually think is really good. The kid from Texas. I think he's a really good player. I don't think
who's
that's
the guy who ran that insane 40 the other year?
John Ross.
How's he doing?
I mean, Xavier Worthy did, and that worked out pretty
Xavier
well.
Worthy. The Chiefs don't count.
I kind of agree with you because I wasn't crazy about him coming out of the draft, but then when he was on the Chiefs, I was like, now, man.
They know how to use.
I know Reed will use him the right way. I was like, now I like it.
If Xavier Worthy was on the Giants, I don't know he'd be that good.
No, he definitely went out of the season he had last year.
I think
that seems like Jet syndrome too. Like
yes, like they know exactly how.
It's like I don't like a guy, and then like the second, like the Ravens draft, I'm like, all right, like
they're in the right,
I'm in.
the
Like
right
I'm in.
system and everything,
Steelers, like same thing, I'm in. But I feel like those teams always draft guys that I'm like in on because they just don't fall in love with like combine workouts, and they like good teams. They watch tape and they take you off that.
I've seen a couple mock drafts have the Jets linked to Sanders, but I don't know how true that is.
I could see that. Like I don't think
Jets?
that's like the.
I mean,
I don't think
why
that's
not?
like the.
I mean, in theory, you got Justin Fields.
Yeah, but you don't
it's
have
like really
a
like a
backup.
1-2 year deal.
Yeah.
So it's like like you can. Justin Fields is a question mark, right?
Yeah. So is
You
Sanders.
might as well No, I'm saying you might as well get another question mark. So it's at least you have 2 at a cheap price, really cheap.
I'm fine with that, honestly, because I also don't really want to win this year. The only thing that I don't like about that is, does that preclude you from getting a quarterback next year? So let's say you get
Yes,
Sanders, right? So
absolutely
then,
does.
So then, what if we end up totally sucking?
Or
like, are we gonna have the balls to
Highly
do like what the
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean
The Cardinals did with Josh Rosen.
The Cardinals did it, but that was I think that was unique.
It's a rare thing.
Like I don't think you're just like dumping Shedeur after one. I like Shedeur.
But it's almost like the Falcons, right? Like the Falcons, like kind of look a little smarter now when they got Kirk Cousins, and now they have like Penix, who we still don't know. In some ways,
they look dumber though, because they
dumb.
They could have drafted someone that could have helped them this year, and then they would have maybe made the playoffs.
No, 100. It could go either way. I'm just saying, like, because if Penix is amazing this year, they look smart. Because he kind of came in a bad spot,
right?
Whatever. Like
he looked like just like okay.
Yeah,
looks fine.
You gotta see what he's.
He didn't look bad. He didn't look amazing.
He didn't look good.
He looked all right.
There's something I saw. He actually had like the highest missed throw rate, but granted, it was 2 games.
Yeah.
So it's it's tough.
It's hard to get a read.
And they played pretty good teams. Like they played Washington. Like played at a Final Four team. I forget who they played in the other game.
It's a tough spot too, where like you're trying to make the playoffs. Like
you put
backs
him in,
against the wall,
like,
and
a needed game, and you're like first start ever.
That's tough.
I'm
not ready to close the book on it, but I also wasn't like blown away by what I saw.
I wasn't blown, and I'm a big Penix guy. I wasn't blown away. I thought he looked okay.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for the draft. This is like my time to nerd out. I love this shit. I fucking love it. I just wonder. I think the Giants are going to draft a mid-round quarterback. I just really wonder like who that guy is.
I already know it, and I'll be excited.
Who? You think it's going to be McCord?
No. Jackson Dart.
I think he's going earlier than that.
He's earlier than mid.
I keep seeing like borderline first round for him.
He's like end of one, like early 2 probably.
He's got a great name.
Second round, us.
My thing is,
would you be mad at that?
If they were able to not trade up in the first and draft him like at 34, I'd be like.
I'm saying they draft him at 34
at our
spot.
second pick. I'd be fine. I'd be good with it.
I'd be completely good with that.
If they like him that much, like go for it. But there's also the part of me that's like, if you waited to take him, you probably didn't like him that much.
Yeah, but not at 3, you know. Like
so a big thing that a guy I follow that does like good stuff on the Giants, Bobby Skinner, he was talking about like how he thinks basically you waste picks on like mid-round quarterbacks because they just like never pan out. Like if you think about it,
isn't true.
It's like there's been
there's obviously some.
I mean, Dak's like I would say Dak and Hurts went in like the second round if you want to count that as like mid-round. They're like the only ones that have even like had like remote success. Well, in the last like 15.
Oh, so you're not even saying like Brock Purdy or something like that.
I guess Purdy counts too. I guess that counts. But I guess Hurts I even struggle because he's like second round. That like kind of is like I guess it's still sort of mid. They're just the success.
I get
rates,
what that means.
It's basically if even you add like Purdy, it's like 3 for like 100. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I guess you can kind of say that about early quarterbacks too. But the success rate's a little higher. I kind of get what he's saying because the Giants they have this core like Shane and Dable. They haven't done it, so I don't think they believe in it a ton either.
Yeah.
But I almost feel like with this roster and the fact that you haven't drafted one in 3 drafts, you almost have to take one. I don't know. I
agree.
Also, I'll plug Gruden. Will Howard Gruden class was great. Gruden camp was quarterback camp was great.
Oh yeah, go take a watch. Go take a look at that.
You watch that and tell me you don't want the Giants to draft Will Howard in like the 3rd or 4th round.
I like that.
He's a guy's guy. He's like just he's like
no problem.
You could do shots with him.
Yeah,
shotguns.
Be friends with him.
Another friend of yours.
That guy would be friends. We get him in the office probably.
I would love to see Marty become friends with him. Him win you a national championships. Sorry, Clemmer, you're not in this exercise. But then Meek hates him.
Yeah.
But that makes me happy. So I'm in this exercise.
Yes,
but he would
so
be a
you
guy,
are back in.
Yes.
Congratulations.
But he would be a guy that would be weird to hate because you're going to draft in probably the 3rd or 4th round. So I don't know how much you can like despise a guy.
You underestimate
Wait till you hear about this guy Meek.
Yeah, you're not talking about anyone in this room right now. Meek Phil is the going.
I don't think he will though.
All he does is
I don't think so.
He likes up to hate.
We wasted a 3rd round draft pick on this guy.
Yeah.
We could have gotten a wide receiver in the 3rd round.
Yep.
Someone to pair up with Malik Neighbors.
No, or he would have picked like someone in this 1st round, and we should have got him. Or like,
or use like
why do we get Cam Ward?
Tom Brady was sitting there in the 6th.
Yeah. No one know how to pick him.
What Meek will just bring up the Colts game and say we could add Cam Ward.
That's right. That's exactly what he'll do.
We took Will Howard in the 3rd round and here we are.
It was very funny when you were talking about the Patriots with like how they kind of got fucked. I saw people already when they realized how this might shake out. They're like, we shouldn't have played Joe fucking Milton.
Yeah. So stupid. Because I'm not going to be here the rest of the week, I'm going to watch some mini golf.
Watch, you're going to play.
I'm saying, I meant you guys watch the mini golf Wednesday and Thursday. I'll be playing in Chicago.
Is it live?
Yeah, it's live.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I think it's like 2v. It's us versus them.
Ryder
like
Cup, right? Like
1 and
Ryder
2.
Cup
Yeah,
style?
it's like 2 versus 2, or and then 1v1 on Thursday. So it's like 1v1 at each person.
Ryder Cup style.
Yeah,
I
which
love
would be
that.
great. I'm very excited for it. I leave today. I was talking to a very talented baseball player who was talking about some golf with me.
Oh.
Masters week.
Yeah.
30% of the winners. I hope I get this right. 30% of the winners of the Masters have been a lefty. And there's only usually about 6 to 8 of them in the field. That's a pretty fucking
30%
crazy.
of them in lefties.
That's pretty crazy.
I mean, Bubba Watson won it, I think, twice maybe, or at least once.
you
I
want to
know
look
for
up
sure.
the past
He's-
winners?
he's a lefty.
Dukes,
Um,
of the Masters.
And
I
whether
just-
they're righty or lefty.
I
It's
just think
also like for how long the Masters been going
Mickelson.
on.
Mickelson, I think, has won the match. He definitely has won the match.
Mickelson's one.
Definitely.
At least once, maybe twice. At least once.
I know I can see him with the green jacket.
I know he's won it once. Bubba, I know has won it once, maybe twice even. I'm trying to think who else. Like other left. Those are the two big lefty golfers off the top of my head.
Yeah, I'm not
And
gonna.
Mickelson's won twice.
Yeah, twice for Mickelson, twice for where's
Those
Watson?
green ones. So yes, you have Mickelson twice, Bubba Watson. I don't know if these other guys are lefty.
I don't know who's a righty. I don't know. I don't know righty and lefty.
I know like Rahm, Scheffler, and them, and Woods. There's obviously not, but I don't
Watson won
know.
it twice.
30% is pretty crazy.
Well, I guess if you just take the two Phils and two. Is there another lefty in there I'm missing?
Who's the least memorable Masters winner?
I think
Danny Willett.
Danny Willett. For sure.
Really?
Yeah, I think Willett.
I was
for
gonna say
sure.
Charles Schwartzel in 2011.
Schwartzel was like pretty good. Willett, like I feel like Willett really just kind of like
It stands
I mean,
out.
look at Willett
It's-
though. Minus like one. What Zach Johnson was +1. Anyone?
tough field, just tough conditions, weather.
Well, they say this year a lot of rain. So
It rains every year at the Masters.
I know it does, doesn't it?
Right? And it always it always ends on Monday.
Was Angel Cabrera a lefty?
I don't know. I don't know right
He
now.
might have.
I'd have
watching
no
TV.
idea. I'm also really bad at right and left.
I'm
That's
horrible
it.
right and
People
left.
get mad at me when I'm like, oh, I don't know what he is.
I don't know.
It's like I just
I
don't
never know what
usually-
anybody is. The only I know is pitchers because when they're lefty, they're facing first base. Other than that, I don't know.
I like Danny Willett.
Okay.
That's good.
I just want to get that out there.
That's okay.
I think he's very
You getting
memorable.
beers with him too?
No, I think he's just very memorable for how random he was, and I think we all appreciated it at the time. Like, whoa, what the fuck?
I can't wait to be a Colts fan this year. I can't
Colts
wait.
fan.
Yeah, because
Why?
the Giants aren't going to be that good. I'm going to be a Giants fan.
Why are the Colts going to be good?
Obviously, I don't know if they are, but there's a certain quarterback that I can watch and root
Oh.
for now.
I've been holding this in, by the way, the full episode, and I forgot. I should have led with this.
Confused, but sure. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see.
I should have led with this. Last night's loss hurt me more than any Dayton loss in the past 5 years.
I think that makes sense.
Wow, but you go Dayton.
Could I tell you why? Because you didn't, your heart of hearts, you knew you didn't have much of a chance to win it like a whole. You were there. You were this close.
I've been riding this Houston team so long besides Dayton that I feel attached to them in a way,
Yeah.
and it really killed me,
Yeah.
especially knowing how close it was and the money factor.
Yeah.
I still can't believe they didn't get a shot up the last two possessions.
I haven't felt that way
Four.
since Dayton's got
I
season
know, but
got
really,
replay.
those last two specifically. Oh, God.
That's actually a fucking lie. No,
They-
the VCU loss really killed me. That was a fucking lie. That was irrational.
This Duke one is truly, I think, the worst one.
easily.
Yeah,
Easily.
because you,
for
as
me.
much as you want to say,
Even
like,
Lehigh, even fucking Mercer, like.
what's he going to say about the Kelvin Sampson? Like, we don't know when he'll be back or like have this opportunity. I think Houston will be back, and I think Duke will be back. But when you're in these situations where you're up 12 in the national championship, you have a fucking 92% chance to win the game.
Yep.
When you're in Duke's situation, you have an all-time great player, an all-time great freshman class, an all-time roster. I'm sure that Duke will be back too, and John Shire will win a national championship. But it's going to stick with you forever. Be like, oh, I could have had one more. I could have had this.
1,000%.
Like,
Because
even
like now that how they're talking about Golden, like he's 39. What a coach like this. Like we have that right here.
I hate to call out this program, but I remember seeing a clip like last week about, I forget who it was on Field of 68, but it was talking about the Todd Golden hire and just fucking nailed it. And it wasn't one of those schmoes either, like Jeff
Wasn't-
Goodman.
yeah,
It was like
wasn't
it was a guest, and he was just like, yeah, Todd Golden, this coach from San Francisco, like Florida, fucking nailed it. They're gonna win a national championship within like 5 years. They'll be a perennial power.
I know that I'm hated on the internet, but he's got to be close, right?
Jeff Goodman?
Yeah.
You're not even close to how hated he is.
Yeah, I think like I'm more hated for different reasons than him. He's just like
This is the worst.
You know who's getting?
Worse.
I was actually just reading. You know who's really fucking getting there is Seth Davis, and he's had a
Yeah, he is.
He's had a run, and I like Seth Davis. Thought I met him one time at like MSG for one of those Champions Classics we went to with Bench Mob. So nice. What bad takes? Like he was like talking about like he holds the water for refs, coaches.
Oh,
It's so weird.
100%. He was the one, like, he was fighting tooth and nail online for Willard.
Yeah.
Like, you can just say he's an asshole. It's
Yeah.
fine. Like, you can just say he was acting like a dickhead.
Yeah.
Also,
Honestly, I'll give Bosco.
Just say he's my friend.
Now, Bosco hates everyone, but he was very early to the Seth Davis train.
Really?
Because you're totally right. I've seen, like, a visceral change on the internet about everyone hates Seth Davis, and I think before it was kind of like whatever. People were very, like, unopinionated on him, and now everyone hates him.
Hates.
For years, Bosco for years. Because remember, he always, like, never won a tournament game. He has all his, like, Seth Davis, like, hate stats.
No. Not him.
Oh, I'm thinking of Greenberg.
you're thinking of Greenberg.
I'm thinking of I mixed up him and Greenberg for
Yes.
a second.
Both stink.
Both
Seth
stink.
Davis is a CBS.
I'm sorry,
guy.
I'm mixing up.
It's like Rothstein's like.
Yes, I got you.
I'm sorry, it's totally off topic too. But yesterday, there was a literal thread on Twitter of people saying Hunter was my best man at my wedding. And people were like, "Is he really? What a scumbag Marty is. His best man. He definitely told his best man. He's not even invited to the wedding. So I don't know what like people want, but people really believed he's my best man.
Okay, so
Would be funny if he was.
Content friend brain. I was like actually meant to ask you that this morning. Content brain. I was like, it would be so funny in a way, like with Bosco. If like 2 weeks from now, like there was just a picture that came out of like Hunter at your wedding.
Like he's like marrying us.
It would just be like the biggest like holy shit. How do I work my way out of
this
this
one go?
Yeah.
All right,
Digging meme.
Clemmer, you go.
NBA play today. Bulls plus 12. The Bulls have something to play for. They're playing for seeding. Also have a future on them to make the playoffs. So but they're playing the Cavs in Cleveland. Excuse me. But the Cavs locked up. Like the Bulls are fighting for something. So I like the plus 12 there. But you need to make this play right now if you're gonna make it. Tigers minus half a run first 5 innings. That Yankee game's about to start. Going against Carlos Carrasco. My play of the day, Cubs over 2.5 runs, first 5 innings against Patrick Corbin. I'm on the Rays run line, plus 124, and those are my plays. And then obviously the strikeout play that we talked about earlier.
I'm literally. I know the pitching matchup is good today. I'm gonna just bet it till it fails. Overs in Sacramento. We're just riding the train. I know it's pitching matchup is probably the worst one for the over that we've had, but 8.5. I'm taking it. Padres A's over. Till the wheels fall off.
Houston plus 1200 to win it all next year.
Yep.
Duke's the favorite.
Duke's favorite. Well,
Love it,
the
Dukes.
Boozer Twins. I got Yankees plus 150. I don't know what that noise for. I think it's a great bet.
It's one of those just keep it in the pocket just in case
It's Carlos Carrasco.
the Yankees win.
Yeah, you never. Yeah,
You drag your nuts across his face.
Yep.
but if they lose, can I drag my nuts across his
Plus
face?
150.
I mean-
No, I can't. Right? It's only
Plus
one-way
150.
street. Carlos Carrasco's pitching tonight.
I think he'll pitch. He'll give up 3 runs.
That's bad.
He doesn't know.
Scooble. I mean, you think, how many runs Scooble going to give up? So then the math just
About
gets
the
tough.
bullpen. It's about the bullpen.
All right. Yankees have a good bullpen. Great bullpen.
Marlins plus 225.
Okay, see, you
Dodgers
you just
fans.
what, you big Connor Gillespie fan? You like that guy? Yeah. Tell me what you think about Connor Gillespie, Marty.
I'm going with the Braves are 1-8. Damn. I'm going with the Phillies
pick 'em
minus
today.
105.
Oh, it's Zach Wheeler in the hill for the Phillies too.
What a year for Todd Golden.
Yes.
First tournament win.
Yeah, he did
Yeah.
it. Good job, man.
First
He's
tournament-
undefeated in the tournament.
Straight to a national. No, I think he has lost in the tournament.
What happened?
He never won a
Never
tournament.
won in a
I think he had lost. At
He
San
was
Francisco. They were
defeated in the tournament.
Yes,
But yeah,
but he had never won a
he's never
tournament
been
game.
so low and so high.
Why is he low? He's high.
Yeah, like SA allegations that he beat. He's a
I don't know about this. I guess he's a bad
There was
guy.
a report like a year and a half ago. I'd say about a year and a half ago. Which was literally the like Florida like their Florida whatever like this.
Oh, I think we talked about this in the show.
They accused him of like DMing like
Right.
stalking.
All right.
co-eds and stalking, and then
yeah.
a lot of it was proven. There was
That was
like
the beginning
no,
of this year.
Yeah, it was about.
It was
they were
kind
like
of-
gonna fire him.
Nothing. But I don't think they were.
Well,
I think
there was,
I think
talkings
people
about
were
him
saying
firing.
that, but then there was apparently no evidence of anything they were accused.
No, but I know. But
of,
the
and-
school was actually talking about it was pretty hey, we're looking into this. We'll do what we have to do. And then
Tough for your own school newspaper to sandbag the guy. If it is totally untrue.
you kind of have to sandbag them up first, but say we're gonna look at hey, listen, we'll fire
Your
him.
school newspaper, I get they're just kids trying to make a name for themselves, but
Or the kids had a story. We also don't know what.
we have no
that
idea.
I'm not touching. I'm not,
I
Yeah,
hope
he
he
could have
leaves.
done something.
I don't know why we need to bring that up at
idea.
the end of the show, Dukes. But all right.
I hope he leaves.
All right.
Did you do your picks?
yeah, the over in the
right.
A's Padres.
That is the show. Watch some mini golf on Wednesday and Thursday. I think Bosco will be back. That's the show. See you guys.